What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the
fuck? What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are Lit, let that T man turn. Today, it's motherfucking day. Show you outside. Big crip and the gang show you outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, rush to your thing and Texas stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position you don't belong. Let's stay humble, let's get on revolution, on the movement, keep y'all way first. Coming to you, Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here, alright? Boom. Today, it's a motherfucking day. Straight here outside. Big crip and the gang straight here outside shit, man. Gang up. Gang. Go. Turn up. Gang. You know, we've been waiting for this. We've been covering this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, a thief and a scammer is two different things, but same in a meaning. You know what I'm saying? A scammer, as in this episode, is like who's scamming for like big corporations who getting like hundreds of thousands of M's. You know, then you got a thief who steal, but he's in person half the time. I don't know, this is kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like Sean Kingston and his mama should be free, you know, at the end of the day, you know. He's scamming these big corporations. He ain't scamming the little man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't scamming the little niggas. But hey, like I said, bruh, you know, we all do some wrong in life. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I can't hate what he did because Sean Kingston and his mama, they both got sentenced. But I'm just saying, these niggas got sentenced, but they giving out niggas with on drug charge in the assault case. They getting that shit 5 to 10. At least 10, 7 to 10. This nigga, they scan $1 million. This shit is insane. Shout out to these motherfuckers, man. And let's get into it. Gang. Shout out to Trap Talk. We got new footage of Sean Kingston mother in jail. Bruh, this is getting crazy. So y'all know we've been watching the verdict of what's going to happen with Sean Kingston and his mama. So y'all know they've been doing all this goddamn scamming. So that's why I'm trying to tell niggas, man, that stuff gonna come up to you eventually. You know what I'm saying? I don't like people who scam like people who ain't got no money on, or who barely making it. But if you scam these big corporations, like fast food and like these big corporations that be selling like, you know what I'm saying, stuff, yeah, scam them niggas. Cause they steal from the community and the people every day. Every day with the prices, with just the taxes, the government steal every day. They scam every day. But I just like when they scam little people. But Sean Kingston was scamming the big name people who was getting that, yeah.
Sean Kingston was visibly shaken leaving court after his mother was hit with a massive sentence.
He was coming in jewelers and shit.
And now
the big corporations.
Because new footage of Sean Kingston's mother
and the mama was helping.
And she's not looking good. With Sean's own trial coming up soon, it looks like things are
the mama already got her verdict.
Let's break it down. The sentencing that had the streets talking. The courtroom scene that went down on July 23rd, 2025 in Miami federal court was really the end of a long road that started when the feds caught wind of what they called a major hustle gone wrong. The whole case centered around allegations that Sean Kingston, real name Keyshawn Paul Anderson, and his mother had been running game on luxury vendors, basically finessing them out of over $1 million worth of high-end
That's what we support.
Between
if you scamming these big known corporations, fuck it.
You are charged.
Scamming little people, man, who barely making it. No, I can't support that.
follows. Count 1, organized scheme to defraud
nigga
over
smart.
$50,000.
Free that nigga Sean
Count
Kingston.
2, criminal use of personal identification information. Count 3, grand theft, greater than $20,000, less than $100,000. Count 4, fraud, insufficient funds check, greater than $150.
Now, this wasn't some small-time corner store scam we're talking about. According to the feds, Kingston was using his celebrity status like a master key, sliding into DMs and inviting people to his crib in Broward County, promising them social media shout-outs and connections with other big names. Meanwhile, Momma Turner was
using Justin Bieber and shit.
side of things, sending fake wire transfer receipts to make it look like they'd paid for everything from a bulletproof Escalade to some seriously expensive jewelry.
Damn, nigga!
TV that probably cost more.
How you niggas be scamming like this on these big corporations?
That courtroom moment hit different when Turner.
I guess when you famous as hell,
Robert Scola Jr.
You got a little bit of power.
Of that courtroom moment hit different when Turner stood up in front of Judge Robert Scola Jr. and laid her heart bare. I'm sorry. My intention was to keep my
like scamming and stealing is two different things.
I am begging for
stealing is like you can get caught stealing.
That had even the hardest
like,
folks in their feelings. This wasn't just
hand first in the cookie jar.
Out of trouble. This was a mama bear.
A lot of times you never even meet these people scamming you.
From the sharks in the music industry, only to end up getting both of them caught
Sean
up in something
smart though.
Bigger than they could handle.
That nigga going to IOUs on jewelry and shit.
Sentencing hearing that nobody cared about. This was a family's whole world falling apart in real time on
getting big ass TVs.
The road to this moment started with what looked like the American dream in action. Sean Kingston, the cat who gave us beautiful girls and worked with everybody from Justin Bieber to other major artists, seemed to be living the life that every kid from the hood dreams about. Money, cars, jewelry, all that fly stuff you see in music videos. But underneath all that flash and shine, federal investigators said there was something much more serious going on. The whole thing started unraveling when vendors who thought they were doing legitimate business with a successful artist started filing lawsuits because they weren't getting paid for merchandise they'd already delivered. That's when the feds got involved and started digging deeper into what they eventually called a sophisticated fraud operation. What they found was a pattern of getting expensive stuff by sending fake wire transfer receipts that made it look like payment had been sent when really nothing had been transferred at all. When it was time for the arrests, it went down like something straight out of a crime movie. In May 2024, Kingston got picked up in California while Turner got arrested during a full-scale SWAT raid on Kingston's Florida mansion. Imagine your neighbors seeing federal agents rolling up to your crib with a whole squad helicopter.
And 9 times 10 is gonna be some white crackers.
That's the kind of scene that lets you know
this
isn't some
misunderstanding. Cause they live in like these big ass fucking houses and shit.
With a phone call to a lawyer. The legal proceedings
private gated communities and shit.
From jump. On July 20th, 2024, a grand jury hit both Kingston and Turner with serious charges. 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 5 counts of wire fraud, with each charge carrying
Mama and son duo.
When you're looking at that
hey, she a real mama though.
You know the government isn't playing around.
His mama a real one.
Correct with evidence and witnesses, ready to prove their case.
She ready to take that time for her son. She a real one.
Both defendants initially pleaded not guilty. The prosecution came with receipts, literally and figuratively. The trial lasted 5 days in Miami federal court, and when it was all said and done on March 28th, 2025,
I think they gave like some months or a year, like few years or a month.
Guilty on all counts. That's not a lot of deliberation time, which usually means the evidence was pretty clear cut, and the jury didn't have much to debate about. The evidence that sealed the deal included text messages that prosecutors said showed exactly what was going on behind the scenes. One message that really stood out was from Kingston to Turner that said, "I told you to make fake receipt," which the prosecution.
Yeah, a lot of these motherfuckers that they were scamming from was snitching. They snitched on
it wasn't legitimate business. The moment when the guilty verdict came down was described as emotional and devastating.
And the receipts they had off their own
self. The jury spoke. Kingston was reportedly crying and begging the authorities to protect my mother, which showed you just how much this whole
free that nigga Sean Kingston and his mama, man.
That moment of vulnerability from a grown man worried about his mama gave folks a preview of the emotional scenes that would later go viral when Turner got her sentence. The way the court treated the 2 defendants after conviction.
What type of hairstyle is that, nigga?
About how the system viewed their roles in the alleged crimes. Turner got remanded immediately, meaning she went straight to jail, with Judge David S. Leibowitz calling her the operator, fixer, and accountant behind the whole operation. The judge's
decision they trying to say she the mastermind.
Was influenced by her criminal history. The court's belief that she might try to bounce if left free. Kingston, on the other hand, got to go home on house arrest with an ankle monitor, but he had to put up his $500,000 house and $200,000 in cash as bond. This different treatment became even more obvious when sentencing day rolled around. Turner's
He got
sentencing
put his house up and his
on July 23rd, 2025, while Kingston's got pushed back from July 11th, 2025 to August 28th, 2025.
That's a lot of goddamn money on, nigga.
Legal representation. So Mama
Giving
had
it right back to the white man.
While her son was still at home waiting for his time with the judge. The sentencing hearing itself was a clash between cold legal facts and raw human.
So the niggas that they stole from, do they get paid with the money on?
Had asked for a much lighter sentence, only 30 months, arguing that it would be enough considering her age, health problems, and what they said was a limited criminal background. But the prosecution and the judge obviously saw things differently, dropping that 5-year sentence that basically means Turner will be spending what should be her golden years locked up in federal prison. The judge also tacked on 3 years of supervised release after her prison time and set up a restitution hearing for October 16th, 2025 to figure out how much money the family will have to pay back to the victims. That restitution hearing is important because it means the financial consequences of their actions are going to keep affecting the family long after Turner gets out of prison. Breaking down the $1 million game. Now that y'all seen the aftermath and
they some smart motherfuckers, man.
The real mechanics of how this whole operation was supposed to work.
A lot of times, man, they want people to make $1 million in the country. Even though these niggas are foreigners, they not like they immigrants. You know what I'm saying? They're not real black people. So they're not foundational black people. So it's a little bit different.
And eventually landed them both in federal court facing serious time. The hustle itself was actually
they immigrants. I'm a real black person from America. These are immigrants. So it's a little bit different. They let the immigrants make millions way before a foundational black man.
Merchandise vendors who believed they were conducting legitimate business with a successful recording artist. This wasn't some quick overnight scam. We're talking about nearly a full year of allegedly running game on high-end vendors who
these motherfuckers be racist to their own kind. We got a lot of celebs who are immigrants, and they won't support nobody. They won't support nobody.
Entire scheme was.
If you're not an immigrant,
or industry connections, presenting
and then you got these
successful artists
foundational black men who are coons, they won't support nobody. If you ain't white, Mexican looking, or like, you know what I'm saying?
They were dealing with someone who
some
possessed
weird shit.
financial resources to support their purchases.
That's a fact.
It's really wild. The items they allegedly obtained using this scheme weren't just regular expensive merchandise. We're talking about a bulletproof Cadillac Escalade, high-end watches, and even a
for these foundational black men, if you ain't Mexican looking,
when you think
white,
about it, these aren't
they ain't finna support your ass.
Bulletproof Escalade isn't something you just decide.
And then the immigrants, if you ain't an immigrant,
that's the type of vehicle that requires serious planning.
And I'll say black, but these niggas be slave mastermind looking ass niggas too, so they be cool sometimes too. But 9 times out of 10, if you ain't an immigrant, they ain't finna support your ass. And if you ain't the white man, they ain't finna kiss your ass.
According to prosecutors,
the immigrants
would send fake wire transfer receipts to vendors as supposed proof of payment for the merchandise. Now, creating convincing fake wire transfer receipts isn't something you just learn from YouTube tutorials. It requires knowledge of how legitimate wire
YouTube tutorials hit ass
look like, and how to create forgeries that are sophisticated enough to fool businesses that regularly handle high-end transactions. Consider what had to happen for this scheme to function, even temporarily. Vendors had to receive these fake receipts and believe they were legitimate enough to release expensive merchandise. This means the forgeries had to be extremely convincing, sophisticated enough to fool business owners who probably process wire transfers regularly and understand what legitimate documentation looks like. That level of sophistication suggests this wasn't amateur hour operation. The timeline of the alleged crimes also reveals how the operation escalated over time, starting in April 2023 and continuing through March 2024. This provided them almost a full year to refine their methods and target multiple vendors. The fact that they allegedly defrauded vendors of over $1 million in property suggests they were hitting multiple targets rather than attempting one major score. What's particularly interesting is how Kingston's celebrity status was allegedly weaponized in this scheme. Prosecutors argued that Kingston used his fame to lure victims via social media, inviting them to his high-end Broward County homes and promising social media
at the end of the day,
referrals from high-profile celebrities.
America gonna treat you like a nigga, man.
Relying on fake
you know what I'm saying? No matter where you from.
They were creating an entire experience designed to make vendors believe they were dealing with a legitimate,
that's why we gotta get our own shit
who could afford what he was trying to purchase.
and
imagine being
legally get our shit, because
investigation to
These
Sean
crackers,
Kingston's mansion.
they done stole all our shit.
You're observing the cars.
You know what I'm saying? Just like people, like over the years, like you know, somebody like as people.
On display. Then he's discussing
they stole all our shit.
on his social media
but then when we try to steal our shit back, it's illegal. They steal all our shit. It's legal. They go through stealing everybody's shit. But now it's time for us to take back our shit and steal and get our shit back. It's illegal. You see how the game rigged, man?
Demonstrates just how
game is rigged, man. The white man, they steal everything. They stole every fucking thing.
Included one from Kingston.
It's legal. Black man trying to steal his shit back or steal shit. It's illegal. What the fuck? They kill people. It's legal. We kill people. It's illegal. What's going on?
Allegedly providing
ain't this stupid? They kill people. It's legal. They go around. These white people go around killing anybody, kill everybody. They want to shoot all the schools up, do whatever they need to. Especially since like the whole since us all being in a race in America. But then when we do what we do, we try to get our shit back. It's illegal. Everything we do is legal.
The fact that the jury only needed 3.5 hours to reach guilty verdicts on all counts suggests the evidence was overwhelming. When you're dealing with federal charges that carry up to 20 years per count, defense attorneys are going to use every strategy available. The quick deliberation suggests that whatever evidence the prosecution presented was clear, convincing, and difficult to challenge. The financial impact on the victims also cannot be overlooked. With over $1 million in alleged losses, we're discussing real businesses that were affected by these alleged crimes. These weren't faceless corporations. These were likely smaller businesses that specialize in luxury goods and depend on building relationships with high net worth clients. Getting cheated out of expensive merchandise could seriously impact a business's ability to operate and grow. The upcoming restitution hearing scheduled for October 16th.
At the end of the day, shit, y'all better start doing the PPP loans. Shit.
The family will have to pay back to victims.
This is what all these businesses are doing. The PPP loans, they're getting hundreds of millions of dollars. Bitch.
Far beyond their prison sentences.
They have so many scams on PPP loans.
They'll likely be dealing with court-ordered payments to victims for years to come. The sophistication of the alleged operation also raises questions about whether this was really their first time running this type of scheme. While research shows that Kingston...
So if they go to jail, they ain't paying no money on it. Damn, they mad as hell.
Organization and execution suggests they had experience with this type of operation. You don't just wake up one day and decide to start creating fake wire transfer receipts that are sophisticated enough to fool experienced business owners. Examining how the scheme ultimately collapsed.
Man, these business owners don't give a fuck.
Into its operation.
They see his name. They know he's famous. They think he rich, allegedly.
This suggests
they giving that shit up.
Criminals were initially successful in their scheme. Vendors were
I go into it. Fuck no, they ain't getting a dime, nigga.
It was only when time passed and actual payments never materialized.
Ain't getting a dime, nigga. They finna triple, quadruple check my shit, nigga. And then if it's real, they gonna burn that shit up.
Also demonstrates how effective the operation was.
It is
at least
fake.
initially.
You know what I mean?
This wasn't a case of one vendor being particularly gullible. This was apparently a systematic approach that fooled multiple business owners who were experienced.
Because they privileged motherfuckers. Y'all gotta understand. These ain't no hard-working people he's scamming. These are privileged ass motherfuckers.
Sean Kingston and his mother's long history of getting money by any means.
They have to run the streets to get to where they at.
The internet reacted to Turner's emotional sentencing. We need to keep it 100 about the history that led to this moment. Turner's rap sheet goes back to 2006 when she pleaded guilty to bank fraud charges and did nearly a year and a half in federal prison for stealing more than $160,000. This earlier conviction is crucial for understanding the current situation because it established a pattern of financial misconduct that would later influence how courts and prosecutors viewed her role in the recent wire fraud case. The 2006 conviction wasn't some minor mistake or momentary lapse in judgment. This was a major federal crime that resulted in serious prison time and should have served as a wake-up call about the consequences of running financial scams. The details of Turner's 2006 bank fraud conviction show that she was already sophisticated in financial crimes almost 2 decades ago. According to court records, Turner served approximately 18 months in federal prison for the bank fraud scheme, which means she had already experienced the federal system and knew exactly what happens when you get caught up in financial crimes. This prior experience makes her recent emotional courtroom plea more complex. She wasn't some first-time offender facing an unknown system, but rather someone who had been through federal prosecution before and definitely understood the potential consequences of her actions. What makes Turner's criminal history even more significant is how it affected the recent case. During her sentencing for the wire fraud charges, her 2006 conviction was
So Sean Kingston didn't have no kids at all?
influencing the
I know Sean Kingston got at least be every bit about
conviction
almost
rather than
40.
letting her stay free while waiting for sentencing. This prior conviction also probably influenced the court's decision that she was a flight risk, leading to her immediate detention
If
while
he
her
ain't
son
almost
got
40,
to
he's
remain
40.
under house arrest. The pattern revealed by Turner's criminal history also raises questions about the family dynamics in the recent
I say at least
wire
about
fraud case.
36,
During the
30,
trial,
37.
prosecutors painted Turner as the mastermind behind the operation, calling her the operator, fixer, and accountant behind the scheme. This characterization hits different when you consider her previous criminal experience. It suggests that Turner wasn't just a mother trying to help her son, but potentially someone with the knowledge and experience to orchestrate sophisticated financial crimes. Sean Kingston's involvement in these matters presents a different but equally complex picture. Unlike his mother,
Nigga
research
ain't
shows
too
that
damn
Kingston
good.
has
Nigga
no
big as
documented
hell.
allegations or legal issues beyond the
That's how you
recent
know these
wire fraud
motherfuckers ain't too
case.
damn
However,
good.
this
These niggas
doesn't
be
mean
big
his
as
path to
hell.
legal trouble
That
was
nigga
straightforward,
be in that
or that
prison
his
eating
celebrity
nothing but
status
spread.
didn't play a major role in the
This nigga
alleged
might come out
crimes.
yoked
The
up.
wire fraud scheme itself shows how Kingston's celebrity status was allegedly used as a weapon to facilitate the crimes. According to federal prosecutors, Kingston used his fame like a master key, reaching out to victims through social media,
He's
inviting
smart.
them to his high-end Broward County homes and promising them social media promotions or connections with
He's
other
smart as fuck.
high-profile celebrities. This alleged use of celebrity status to commit
Cause
crimes
he robbed a lot of celebrities. I heard he got robbed, and he robbed some celebrities.
to deceive and rob legitimate businesses. The sophistication of the alleged scheme also suggests that this wasn't some spur-of-the-moment hustle or a case of
He
bad
had something
judgment
going on
under
with the
pressure.
game and
The
shit.
fraud
Like a lot of
allegedly
shit
involved
have
obtaining
happened.
high-end items
He had
like a
something going on with the
Cadillac
Migos.
Escalade, luxury watches, and a 232-inch LED TV using fake wire transfer receipts.
Crazy.
The variety and value of items allegedly obtained suggests a systematic approach to defrauding vendors rather than isolated incidents of poor decision-making. The evidence presented during the trial painted a clear picture of intentional deception and coordination between mother and son. Text messages introduced as evidence included one from Kingston to Turner saying, "I told you to," and make fake receipts, which prosecutors argued proved their joint conspiracy to deceive vendors. This kind of direct evidence of coordination suggests that both
Damn,
defendants
so
were
they
active
got
participants in the
100%
alleged
on the
scheme,
evidence
rather
on these
than one
niggas.
being an unwilling
So yeah, his
participant.
mama got
Just
sentenced
while
already.
the
She
others
gone.
lead. The public nature
Shit,
of
this nigga
Kingston's
trying to get this
lifestyle
nigga
also
next.
played a role in how the
Damn.
alleged crimes were discovered and prosecuted.
I know, she like, what the
Social
fuck?
media posts showcasing
I'm in
luxury
prison,
cars,
nigga. This
expensive
nigga trying to get a
jewelry, and
bond?
lavish parties may have created the very visibility that led vendors to pursue legal action when payments didn't come through. In essence, the same celebrity status that allegedly helped facilitate the crimes may have also contributed to their detection and prosecution.
Yeah.
To get additional insight into Kingston's character and past behavior, it's worth looking at previous public statements and interviews that reveal his attitudes toward money, relationships, and business dealings. In a previous interview on The Breakfast Club, Kingston discussed various aspects of his lifestyle and business practices that, while not directly related to the current charges, provide context for understanding his approach to celebrity and business relationships.
Where do you make majority of your money, man? Because you always shining. You always got nice cars.
I got investments. I'm smart with my money, man. I'm Jamaican. You know we got
This
I can't stand motherfuckers. I'm Jamaican. The fuck is that supposed to mean, nigga? Jamaica's like a third world country. What the fuck? Nigga, I'm Jamaican. Nigga, Jamaica like a third world country, nigga. And like, the fuck? Nigga, Jamaica haven't did shit. Jamaica ain't no world power structure, nigga. These foreigners be crazy. I'm from Jamaica. What that supposed to mean, nigga? They ain't no world superpowers. The fuck?
She helps my manager Jimmy Daniels out. She's the momager. Yeah, she's a momager. She's
I'm Jamaican.
We're like looking to open.
Fuck that supposed to mean, bitch? Go back to Jamaica, bitch.
Cooking. And she's
You know what I'm saying? I'm from Jamaica. I'm from Ghana. I'm from motherfucking Dominican. Bitch, go back to Dominican. Go back to Jamaica. Go back to Ghana, nigga. Nobody begging y'all niggas to stay over here. Nigga. You know what I'm saying?
was indeed heavily
These
involved.
niggas be rich as hell. These foreigners and shit. How they love their country, but don't want to go back to their country.
Relationships necessary to allegedly orchestrate the wire fraud.
I was born in America, bitch.
Kingston's awareness
That's
of
what
his
it is.
previous legal troubles, though he was somewhat evasive about the details.
When I first met you, your mom was in jail, right?
She was.
Right. Okay,
Mom was in jail.
what?
When pressed about his
Nigga be
mother's
rich
criminal
as hell.
history, Kingston's
I'm from
response was
Jamaica.
telling.
This mother 5 years. When he first came out. 5 years. Jesus Christ. What she do? Yeah, Jamaican, man. It's crazy, but you know.
This casual acknowledgement of his mother's criminal past, combined with his apparent normalization of it as part of their cultural background, provides insight into the family dynamics that may have contributed to the recent legal troubles. Kingston's description of how his mother's incarceration motivated him also reveals the complex relationship between her criminal activity and his career success.
How'd you avoid the life of crime?
The life of crime, me basically, you know what it was? Like before, what people don't understand is before, people think, that's why I said the history of Sean is like crazy. I was moving everywhere. Like I lived in LA one point, New York. So I got all this type of stuff. I was bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom was always, you know, she was a hustler. So I was in school she was moving addresses. So I ain't really got a chance to, so I was just in school fighting bad, like really, really bad. And when she got locked up, it really gave me that inspiration. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be the one to do something right with my life and do different. You know what I'm saying? Really make a positive statement. When she come out, she can be proud of something.
As Sean Kingston awaits his own sentencing on August 28th, 2025, the pattern established by his mother's criminal history and their joint conviction creates expectations for what his courtroom experience might involve. Unlike his mother, Kingston doesn't have a prior federal conviction to influence his sentence, but the evidence of his alleged leadership role in using his celebrity status to facilitate crimes may result in significant consequences nonetheless. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video,
shout out to SoFlo TV. He been talking about the Sean Kingston shit and his mama, and damn, 3.5 years in prison. So him and his mama, or just him?
you're way too beautiful, girl.
Facts, nigga.
That's why it'll never work. You got me suicidal when you say it's over. John Star.
Music these days, it's all about fuck them hoes.
Welcome back to SoFlo TV again, everybody. It is your host with the most.
These days, music like fuck them hoes, keep them hoes in the guts and
years in prison in the United States of America. Sean Kingston was sentenced to 3.5 years today, y'all. We were really hoping that Sean was actually going to get to serve his time at home. I know some people wish bad for him and wanted him to be even sentenced to more. You can say that he's lucky because he was facing 4 counts of guilty, each carrying 20 years. 20 times 4, that's 80 years. So the judge could have actually given him all kinds of time. But just like I said before, the judge gave his mom, Momma Kingston, get 5 years. So I already knew that Sean was not going to get more than Momma Kingston was. She is somebody who is seen by the system as a re-offender, somebody who did this before, got found guilty in the court of law, served time before this and re-offended again, which tells the system kind of like, you have not learned your lesson. And they gave her 5. This is Sean's first time going down that
bad, though. They rich
so he definitely wasn't going to get that much time.
If you broke as fuck,
looking for him to get
35 is
about
tough,
1
nigga.
to 2 years
you ain't got no money on
he wasn't going to get any time.
If you got 35, you rich as hell, nigga.
Asked the judge to sentence him to 2 to 2.5 years, according to his attorneys.
That's actually a W.
They requested special privileges from the judge, but the judge said something else. The judge went with 3.5 years.
That's good as fuck.
Sean Kingston was sentenced to 3.5 years in federal prison today.
I'm thinking about, I thought it would be like 5 to 10.
In a $1 million fraud scheme.
Yeah, I thought it would be like 5 to 10.
His mother, Momma Kingston, was caught up
them lawyers, nigga. When you get a good lawyer, nigga.
Today, before U.S. Judge David Leibowitz handed down Sean Kingston's sentence in a South Florida.
Cause you get assault.
The Jamaican rapper.
7 to 10, you get 7 to 10 years off of assault, nigga.
Jamaican rapper.
This
Sean
nigga
was
got $1
born in
million
the United
in
States
fraud.
of America. Yes,
3
he was
years and
born
5 years. That's good as fuck.
a Jamaican mom, and he has strong Jamaican roots. However, and he's not a rapper either. He's more like
his mama getting deported. I told y'all, nigga.
U.S. media has him as the Jamaican rapper.
I told y'all, nigga.
Anytime you do nothing good, and you do anything good, they claim you as theirs. You know, you're American, you just have Jamaican background. If you do anything bad, then they claim you as a Jamaican, right? But Sean was born here. Anyways, Sean is 35 years old right now. To me, 35 plus, you pushing 40, bro. It's time to get it together. And honestly, I hope he get in there and do some Gucci Man shit. Like, remember when Gucci Man went in, big belly, looking like he was 150 pounds. Yeah, he got his swole house. 6-pack. He came out trim, big, in shape, and ready to take on the world. I'm just hoping all for the best for Sean, man. That's a lot of time to sit down and think plot and work on your summer body. It's 2025 now.
Kinda, but not really when you're rich as hell.
He'll be out in 2028, 2029. You should be looking forward to summer 2029 or something like that. Apologizing, and he apologized.
3.5 years, you broke as fuck. You come out that prison, nigga.
Said that he apologized.
He didn't come out. They got escargot, a fucking handmade.
I learned from my actions, and I won't be doing anything like this again.
However, red biscuit,
Judge Leibowitz denied Sean Kingston's attorney request.
We come out, nigga. It's like the shelter of fucking bologna sandwich.
So even when he got sentenced, the attorney said, "Okay, we hear the sentence, Your Honor. We respect the sentence. Can he leave today and then surrender himself at a later date due to some health issues that he is currently going through?"
Damn, his mom might get
the
deported.
Judge was like, "No, I need him to surrender right now. Beltif, take this defendant into custody immediately."
Imagine his mom get deported to Jamaica. She hasn't been in Jamaica in 40 years. Sean Kingston 40.
I don't know.
He probably hasn't been in Jamaica like on some just living. I don't know if she rich as hell, but you get what I'm saying?
The lawyer trying to like buy him some more time of freedom. I mean, you're going away for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
You know, anybody who's going away for 3.5 years wouldn't mind having one more day free.
That's a fact.
Sean Kingston, who was in the courtroom wearing a black suit and white shirt, he removed the jacket for his suit to be handcuffed, and he was escorted out of the courtroom. Now, as we all know, the whole story rundown goes like this. Sean Kingston has been sentenced to 3.5 years today by a Florida court in a $1 million fraud scheme. By the way, that $1 million fraud scheme, that was $1 million that was done in 2025 alone.
Damn.
In the first couple of months of 2025. So a lot of people might be wondering how long they were racking this up.
Wait, he ran $1 million in 2025?
The report says that $1 million was just for the first few months of the new year, 2025. They had other things on the books.
These niggas was scamming.
So 35-year-old Sean Kingston,
$1 million in the first few months of 2025?
In South Florida court in March.
This nigga was scamming.
Alongside his mother, both mother and son, Janice Turner, for
this nigga scammed over $1 million.
About $1 million
years, you
worth
get
of
5
luxury
years.
items through
You get a
falsified
salt,
payments
that's
that
17.
never cleared. That's for a lot of you who don't really understand why he's going to prison. I'll give you the backstory. His mother, Janice Turner, or Momma Kingston, as she is affectionately called, she was sentenced in July this year, 2025, to 5 years in prison with 3 years of probation to follow after doing 5 years.
Yeah, 3 years of probation.
Both of them were initially arrested in May of 2024.
Man, that's good as fuck.
On theft charges.
That's a good ass. That's good as hell. I ain't care. These niggas need the lawyers need a Hall of Fame trophy.
That's when we found out the mansion is rented. It's not really owned by them. And it's $30,000 a month for that mansion.
They try to give a nigga 30 years for tax evasion.
But we did other videos, though, where we talked about, we don't really know who owns that mansion. So could it be that that mansion might be in their portfolio? However, in order to protect their assets, they rent it back to themselves. I'm not going to get into that with you right now. Neither here nor there.
Just hold on.
Investigators told the courts that Sean Kingston used social media from April of 2023 to March of 2024 to arrange purchases of luxury items, and he invited sellers to his Florida home with the promise to feature them and their merchandise on his social media accounts. When it came time for him to pay for the items, such as a bulletproof Cadillac Escalade and then an Audemars Piguet watch, Sean Kingston or his mama would text,
so you gotta give up the watch and the
wire
they scam that
receipts to these people, to the merchants.
Be big
so the merchants would be like, hey man,
damn,
you got a watch for me, and the watch is $50,000, right? Giving you an example.
I can't gain £15 for 10. I ain't trying to gain £10. I'm just saying.
You haven't made any payments, and it is said that what they would do, they would argue with the merchant and say, we paid that off in full already. And the merchant would be like, well, I'm looking in my records and I haven't found any receipts of yours. And then they would say, well, we got our receipts. Do you want me to send it to you? So they would send a receipt by text, and the merchant would look at the receipt, and the receipt would say the item that they took from them and the amount that it was paid in full. So, of course, these merchants started like, okay, I'm missing something. Maybe it's the bank that's holding on to my money. Maybe it's whatever. So they started going through this process that attracted federal authorities. So during her trial, Momma Kingston admitted to falsifying these wires for Sean Kingston, which she claimed was an effort to protect him from scammers by delaying the payments for these luxury items. Because he's Sean Kingston, she was trying to say in the courtroom that we were going to pay it, but I didn't want them to like overcharge him because they think he is a celebrity and he has money, so let's charge him triple the price of something. So I would delay the payments and then slow pay.
This one,
right?
And that one with the duck face.
That didn't work.
Crazy.
That matter of fact angered the judge so much that the judge spoke about it after she was taken into custody. And the judge said, the only reason I'm taking you into custody today is because you show no remorse. And you're still up here trying to twist this into something that it's not. Just admit that you did wrong. Admit that it was theft, and leave it at that. Show some kind of remorse. I was wrong. I won't do it again. Instead of trying to make up this story about you were trying to protect your son, her attorney got up in court and said, Your Honor, this is not a case of theft. This is a case of a mother trying to protect her son. And the judge was livid. So the judge even said, that's the only reason why I'm making sure that from today, once the verdict was read, you, Momma Kingston, will go straight into custody and you will stay there until your sentence. While Sean, who didn't say anything, he was lucky he didn't say anything. Because if he had got up and said something like his mom said and showed no remorse or whatever,
prison right then and
I would have sent him also right back there too, and he would have been locked up until sentencing. But instead, I'll allow him to be out on bail until his sentencing time comes. Right? This is how they said the scheme actually works. Sean Kingston's mom was saying she didn't play a big part in all of this. You know, her attorneys were like trying to minimize her role, and the judge said, nah, her role was not minimal. Her role was big because of how it was laid out. So it seems like Sean Kingston was the one who used his celebrity status
like Cassidy
and his connections in the industry.
Diddy was the bigger name.
So he would go to all these merchants and he would trick them.
You know what I'm saying? Rich.
Saying,
Cassidy was the mastermind behind the Diddy shit because she was doing all this fuck shit to get together.
I'm just giving you examples, right? Not saying this is exactly what he said or exactly whose names he called, but the merchants all said he would name drop a lot of other celebrity names. They never said which one. One of them only said Justin Bieber. And he would say, he would look up the video and he would see that Sean had a song with Justin Bieber, and he's like, Justin Bieber is a huge star.
Told you.
So, of course, we're going to, give him the merchandise thinking he's good for
Justin Bieber.
Plus, He promised
The Migos, they
us
suck
that
his
he would
dick.
get Justin Bieber to come spend some money at our store and
Dumbasses.
buy some of our goods. And we
Dumbass.
thought he was good for it. So it is said that Sean would pull the same trick on multiple dealers
Smart as fuck.
of different luxury items.
Tell you the white man of finesse. That's facts.
The TV, the
Smart as fuck.
colossal size television. I don't even know why somebody wanted a TV that big. The TV, the
For the bitches.
bulletproof Escalade.
You watching the
You
pornos,
know, all the
fucking your
stuff
bitch.
that he
Watching
took.
porno while you fucking your
And
bitch.
then
And
Momma
watching y'all
Kingston
pornos
now
on TV.
would be an
Crazy
intricate
hell.
part in this because Sean would go get the deal. He would give them the address to where everything needs to be delivered to, and he would schedule the days for the delivery. Momma Kingston was the one who would make sure that somebody was there to collect these things when they were delivered to the house by the merchants and to have them set up and installed. And then she was also the one who would handle the wiring of the receipts, which turned out to be fake receipts, saying that she had paid off the goods. So she was an intricate part in all of this. Sean Kingston refused to testify. As evidence, and prosecution presented text from Sean Kingston to his mother that read, "I told you to make a fake receipt."
Damn.
Followed by, "So, it looks like the transfer will be there in a couple of days." Again, this is one of the evidence text messages that was used by the feds against
This
them
shit wild.
from Sean Kingston to his mother. And the text message said, quote unquote, Sean talking to Momma Kingston, it said, "I told you to make a fake receipt." And then the next one says, "So, it looks like the transfer will be there in a couple of days." Wow. Well, before the judge delivered his sentence and gave him his time in prison today, Sean Kingston apologized. He said that he was wrong. He said that he was sorry for his actions. He said that he had learned his lesson. His lawyer had previously asked the judge for home confinement. And I told my audience, I said, other popular people have been sentenced to home confinement. And I used one person like NBA Youngboy, who was sentenced to years of home confinement, right? And I thought, maybe this is not far-fetched.
I mean, NBA Youngboy like what, 20, 21?
Home
This ain't about
confinement.
40.
His attorneys were saying, "Judge, if you put him on home confinement, all he's gonna do is lock in a house,
NBA Youngboy was
lock
like
into his
20,
art, produce
21.
good music,
Kingston like 40,
maybe do
bitch.
shows if
You
he
know
is
what I'm saying?
allowed.
That's
If
two
not,
different. That's
at least the
different.
music will be produced and he can do content from home that
True.
can earn money, generate money to pay restitution back to his victims." So all in all, this would work both ways because it would actually allow him to be able to pay these victims back. But if he goes to prison right now, he's just going to be sitting in prison for 3.5
Yep.
years or however
And
much
then
you
when he get out, he
sentence him
gotta
to,
start paying them back.
and he won't be able to do anything productive to pay these people
Yeah.
back. I was all for that. I was all for that. I said, you know what? At the end of the day, this is the first time he ever got into anything like this. Let him be on home arrest. And if he messes it up, then you take him
But
into
that's the
custody.
thing. They don't give
But
a
give
fuck
him a
about
chance
this
to
Munyon.
pay these people back
Munyon is
also.
fake, nigga.
Well,
They don't give a fuck
shit
about that
didn't go that
Munyon.
way.
It's the principle.
Shit did not go that way
He's
at
black.
all. Okay?
He got power. You know what I'm saying?
His
They don't
attorneys
give a fuck about
even
that
said
Munyon.
that Sean Kingston, in fact, has already paid back most of the people that he defrauded.
You feel what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about that
And
Munyon.
that is by working and giving them monies that he has earned. Well, Sean will be locked up for the next 42 months.
He's
He gonna miss a couple of summers.
$1 million
I just hope
in
he stays safe
2025,
in
bitch.
prison.
That's crazy.
Because prison is
I
not
hope
no
he
joke
want that
place.
shit
Whether
well as
you're
fuck.
in state or you're in the feds, it's not a joke place. Tory Lanez just got stabbed 14 times. Collapsed lungs, had to be airlifted to a hospital for emergency surgery.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
You know, you don't know what goes on when you get behind them walls.
That's a
And
fact.
there are people there who will try to get stripes off you just so they can have bragging rights to say, oh, you know Sean Kingston, the one that sang that beautiful girl song?
I whooped his ass,
that motherfucker in his face, boy. I'll
took
beat
his
his
noodles.
ass in here. You know, I had Sean Kingston washing my drawers.
Facts, nigga. I took that nigga noodles every day, nigga. That nigga ain't no commissary.
So we don't know if he's gonna be doing his time in protective custody.
He washed my boxes, nigga.
Or in isolation.
He cleaned my bunk bed up. My cell, he my cell cleaner.
From the Tory Lane's case. So protective custody is different from ADSEG. Protective custody is where like people who have decided I don't want to be in my prison gang anymore. I'm gonna debrief. I want to change my life, or I'm gay and I don't want to be in general population because I could get harmed, raped, or something. They will put those people in protective custody. Protective custody is different from ADSEG. Administrative segregation is when the prison themselves lock a inmate in segregation for that inmate's own safety because of who that inmate might be. Because they're well aware that there are people in there who will harm somebody who is famous.
But I mean, nobody gives a fuck about Sean Kingston no more. I'm talking like, as far as diehard fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he was Sean Kingston back then, to Sean Kingston now,
those people ended up getting back
maybe
their
back then
items
he
in
probably need
good
that protection
condition
like
to where
crazy.
they can resell them and make money. I understand that it's wrong, but does he deserve to be in prison where he is shanked and stabbed up multiple times and lose his life? I don't think so. That type of payment would not be fitting of the crime that was committed. So again, I wish him the best, and I hope he does his time in peace.
Niggas get blamed over $5
he learns a lot from this. I hope he takes time to put himself
niggas
back
get blamed
together,
over a turkey sub with no mayonnaise.
and mentally, spiritually as well. Sean Kingston was born in Miami, Florida. A lot of people are confused and thinking he was born in Jamaica and then he was raised in the United States of America. His mother was born in Jamaica.
He not Jamaican.
And his mother is facing deportation when she gets out of prison. You see, there's a list under the Donald Trump administration, the deportable list. It's a list of offenses that will have them take away or denaturalize you. So a lot of people are like, damn, she's been here for mad years and she got a green card? How come she didn't get her citizenship yet? Well, under Donald Trump's ruling and the things that he has put in place, fraud, including wire fraud, is one of the offenses that is considered a denaturalization
and she
offense.
did that like right in the beginning.
All of the scammers, them and the one them were banging line, chopping line, all that, and you living in the United States of America, if you do not want to be stripped of your citizenship and deported,
it's SoFlo TV.
Please remember I told you this. Donald Trump added scamming, bang the line, all that you want to call it, wire fraud, to denaturalization list of offenses. So under those rules, they already informed Sean Kingston's mom that she will be facing deportation once her time is over. She even went to the judge through her attorneys and requested, please can I serve my time right here in Miami where my family can come and visit me while I'm serving my time, because once I'm done serving my time, you plan to deport me back to Jamaica, where I will be permanently separated from my family that's here. My family, my support system, my circle is right here. And you're going to deport me anyway, so can you at least grant me that?
How do you even survive? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
where she
you ain't
could be
been there
serving her
for 40
time federal
years.
facility.
Like
It is
living.
many hours
How do you go back to somewhere you ain't never been in 40 years?
So far, so good. They've kept her in place so far, but we don't know what might happen over the years of her serving. She might get moved up the road, or they might just keep her right there. Sean Kingston, on the other hand, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's going to get deported just like his mama. Well, He was born in the United States of America, and he was raised in Kingston. According to this report, says that he was raised in his parents' native, Kingston, Jamaica, and between Kingston and Miami. The singer remains most famous for his 2007 single
America,
that's called
he
Beautiful Girl, which you heard me singing at the beginning
Jamaica?
of this. You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You got me suicidal.
Well,
that song is super powerful. That song took him around the world. That song allowed him to be in the company of A-list stars and to be considered an A-list star at one point. That song gave him collaborations. That song put millions of dollars in his pocket. That song, he still performs that song and gets paid to do so to this very day. That song topped the Billboard charts when it was released. He has released 4 albums to his credit, and he has collaborated with big names in the industry,
he got the money,
like Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, just to name a few. Him and Justin Bieber had another hit that's called Eeny Meeny that was put out in 2011. So Sean Kingston had his day in the spotlight, you know what I mean? According to federal court records, Janice Turner, or Momma Kingston, she pleaded guilty back in 2006 to bank fraud for stealing over $160,000. So according to the system, Momma Kingston been a big chopper, you know? She had chopped the line a long time, 160K plus. And they actually gave her some prison time for that, of which she served almost 18 months of her prison time, both then. Both Momma Kingston and Sean have been sued multiple times over the years for failure to pay for luxury items. I don't know if they thought that they couldn't see that one day this was going to happen to them, but it did. It all came crashing down. I guess they thought the worst that could happen was a judge was going to say, pay these people back their money.
Yeah.
And somebody would put them on a payment plan, and they would pay it back. I don't think they saw prison time in this.
Or deportation.
But his mom should have known
that
prison time was in this.
And deportation.
She went down this road way back in 2006.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She should have been in the news.
So, and you got to think, 2006.
Damn.
That's way back.
That's way back.
Experience.
They been thinking about that shit.
Over the years, records show that both Momma Kingston and Sean Kingston were sued multiple times for failure to pay back for luxury items.
I was thinking if I would have went to prison the first time, bitch, I'm become a millionaire.
Entertainment System Company
nigga, I'm a millionaire.
in February of 2024.
That's crazy.
It all comes crumbling
get lazy,
down
man.
today. Man, I wish Sean all the best. I hope he stays safe behind them bars. Do the time, homie, don't let the time do you. Momma Kingston is 63 years old, fam. 63.
I mean, I ain't that old.
At the end of the day,
if it was like a 15-year sentence or something,
worse for both of them.
It could be.
Because anyhow, the judge got in his feelings and was like, you said you getting 80 years, but I'm giving you I'm not going to give you 80, but I'm going to sentence you to 20.
Told you.
Ooh, that would have been painful.
If it would have been 20, bitch, she done.
Sean Kingston was arrested back in California.
If they would have gave her 20 years,
and they extradited him to
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Nigga, tax fraud and evasion, nigga, they try to give your ass fucking life with that shit.
Hands and feet, escorted by marshals on a plane, taken to Broward County Jail, and then processed and then released from there. I remember when they went to go get him after they raided the mansion and his mom was alone at the mansion and they took her into custody. He was out in California.
Doing a concert.
He was about to do a show.
Yeah.
And they allowed him to do his show.
Damn,
and then right after he was done doing his show, they took him into handcuffs.
Damn.
They were like, go ahead, earn your money because you already booked for the show. We're not going to fuck up these people's event. Get your money. But no, we waiting for you here. Could you imagine how nervous he was on stage singing? entertaining an audience, earning that check, knowing that once I get off the stage,
straight prison.
they about to put me in handcuffs. Man, I wish them all the best, y'all. Y'all leave some good words. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to tell you to leave no good words. I'm just not the kind of person to kick somebody when they're down.
Yeah.
I understand that wrong is wrong. The law is going to do what it's going to do, and karma is going to do what it's going to do. It don't need me throwing my foot in there.
It does.
That's
for the
it.
law,
I'll catch you on the next video.
Different for certain people, man.
I'm out.
That's a fact.
Peace.
Karma can hit everybody.
You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why
Karma hit anybody. That law is wishy-washy. If you got enough money on your color, nigga, they'll try to finesse the system. That's a fact. And we out this bitch. Stay black and happy, nigga. Alright, we back. So, yeah, man. Like I said, man, keep on scamming these big ass fucking corporations. Just don't scam the little people. You know what I'm saying? That's all I always saying. Just don't scam the little people. Niggas who got a little bit of something they going on, trying to make a little way. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got that much in their pocket. Just trying to make it. And y'all giving out hope that, okay, if you do this, we can flip it. No, don't scam the little people. Go for the big corporations. These big ass corporations, man, they're making hundreds of thousands. But I know it's easier to steal from people that don't have like big lawyers and shit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. So like I tell y'all, bro, we live in a cold world. You know what I'm saying? And hey, a lot in this world, man, was tooken. I'm gonna be honest. People didn't get that shit. They took it. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel me? But I just tell people, man, if you gonna do the crime, man, shit can happen, man. You know, you want to be free. You know, we all face similar situations in some way or another. You know, for people who go through shit. Hey, just stay smart and stay on these streets, man. And if you get locked up, hey, keep on praying and get out that bit. Hood, Northside, Big Crip Gang, Northside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.